Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19, and welcome back to Geiselsberg. Grass work, as promised. Oh my goodness, we are going to operate with a ruthless efficiency today. I got a plan. We've got a plan. So the fields west. The fields west and south of the farm, I did mow those. I baled them up, and they're on the truck. We got, I want to say, about 50 bales out of this area that's harvested right here, 50. And this is the area that we're going to start harvesting today. It's got to be 3 times as big. You think? At least twice as big, maybe 3 times as big. If we got 50, 150 here, right? 150 plus 50, 200 at what? 2,000? What are we getting for silage? 350 per thousand. So that's about 1,400 euro per bale. 200 bales, that's 280,000 euro. I think we could be on the way to getting out of debt. And canola, I saw, sorry, not canola, soybeans. We have 200,000 liters of soybeans in our silo. And the best price that it got up to while I was getting this video ready was about 1,700. So I think that's another, what, 340,000 euros? So 600,000 euro on $1 million loan. I'll take it. I will definitely take it. Right. This is what we've got going in the interest of efficiency. So on the front is the Pottinger base game mower. On the back is the Pottinger swathing mower from the mod contest, which has just updated in the last couple of days. So this has had a couple of tweaks made to it, and we are going to be swathing today. So let's get this started and just pull it down a little ways so we have everything kind of out of the way. So that, drop that, and drop that. We're going to just pull this forward a little bit, like right about there. Right about there. Set the brake. Mower's up. Mower's up. All right, we're going to hop out here. Get in our 7 that has our baler on it. We got the Klaas Roland wrapping baler. And then I added the auto unload mod. And the reason I did that, I was trying to think of a way that we could have 2 vehicles working at once. Now, if we went with a square baler, that drops automatically, right? But then we'd have to go back and wrap those manually. If we go with the auto wrapping round baler, that doesn't unfold this, like so. The auto wrapping round baler does not auto unload. So we would have had, you know what I mean? We'd be back in like the same boat because we'd have to go back and manually bale behind the mower. And I thought, why not see if there's a good mod? Follow me. Follow me. Beautiful. That's there. That's there. And I found one. I found a mod that works super well. Now, we do need to go kind of slow in our Deutz 9 because we don't want to lose our guy back here. But if everything goes according to plan, and it won't, but if it does, we should be able to make a ton of bales in this episode. And we will then pick up enough to fill the rest of the truck. We've got a truck parked up by the side of the road with bales on it. And we will fill that truck, take it up to the barn and sell it, see what we get for a full flatbed of silage bales. Let's see if this is going to be the way to get us out of debt. I think it is. Grass always is. Grass always is. And in fact, oh, we're wrapping a bale right now. Now, as long as this drops automatically, it was working in the other field. I just hope it works now that we're recording. Yes, it does. Fantastic. So, what we might do, I had me a theory. What we might do is take all the profit from this grass, and instead of paying our loan off, because that will definitely put us up on the right side of our interest payments, instead of paying our loan off, why don't we buy one of the BGAs? I believe there are 2 on this map. If we buy one of the BGAs, then we can fill either our pit or the pit down at the BGA, whichever one it is that we buy, We can fill that pit and then unload directly into the hopper at the PGA. We'll get paid, and we'll also be making digestate, so we'll be getting free fertilizer out of the deal. How we doing back there? Still keeping up. Okay. Does that make sense? I think that could be a plan. I think that could work. I think it could. Now, we are going to, right between these two fields, because the field that we're in was always a grass field. The field that we're going into used to be an arable field. These are two separate fields. And there is a little dividing shrubbery right over here. We're going to roll through that. It's not super realistic. Wow, I'm really not getting too close to the edge of the field. That's a little better. It's not super realistic to roll over those shrubs. There's a couple of things that I could do. One thing is I could put a plow on a tractor, use the create fields feature, and just essentially plow those bushes into nothingness, into dust. If we do that, I'm worried that we'll lose the field border for this arable field that we're in right now. It's got grass in it, but we're in a numbered arable field. And if we do lose that field border, I worry we won't be able to use course play in the future for this field. So I think I would rather just, you know, step out of the immersion for a second and mow right over those bushes. Not super realistic, but we do what we got to do. And I think we're still, yeah, we're still dropping bales back there. I don't want to get too far ahead. I don't know how many breadcrumbs follow me leaves. I think it's a few. I've gotten pretty far out in front of a vehicle that's been following me, but at a certain point they do drop off, so I don't want to get too far ahead. Yeah, they're keeping up pretty good. Don't hit that tree. Right. And all of these fields have been double fertilized. Now I'm told that you don't need lime, that if you apply lime before you plant grass, it does not affect the output, and if you plow before you plant grass, it does not affect the output. So this field it had been subsoiled before we put soybeans in it, and it had been limed before we put soybeans in it, so it does have both. So technically it is triple fertilized plus plowed, which would theoretically give us a double harvest. But what I'm told in a comment is that the most you can ever get from grass is 160%. You only ever get the 2 layers of fertilizer bonus. So, okay, I mean, I'll take it. 160% is more than not 160%, you know. So, how we doing back there? Yep, still keeping up. And the other mod that I'm running, I found an animal helper mod. So there's the horse helper mod, and that feeds and trains your horses. Well, this is the same feature, essentially, but for sheep, pigs, and cows. Now, it doesn't feed them, but it does water them, it puts down straw for them, and it cleans up after them, cleans up their floor food. And, you know, I've been thinking, I haven't played Cattle and Crops for over a year. I had a bit of a falling out with the developers. I'm done with Cattle and Crops. I say that. I'll probably end up buying it, even though I bought it once already. I'll buy it again when it comes into full release and they get all the bugs worked out. But at the moment, I haven't played it for a long, long time. But something that I really liked about Cattle and Crops was the idea that you could have essentially staff. And the way the hired workers were set up. Now, at the time, I don't recall ever seeing this animated. I don't recall ever seeing tractors moving around your farm. But essentially, you would hire a worker, and then you would tell them to take this tractor from your fleet and attach this implement from your shed and use this food source that you had in storage and give it to these cows at this time. And I thought that was a fantastic way to do it, because the animal helper mod that we have right now, I mean, it's great. I'm glad that I found it, but it does not draw from any existing stores. So what I was thinking about as I was getting this video ready is, if you had a placeable shed or a placeable barn that had the animal helper script in it, that essentially you would need to put consumables into that shed, and it would then count against a total that could be used to take care of your animals. In other words, if you put 10 straw bales in there, you would have 40,000 liters of straw for your helper to put into your animal sheds. If there's no straw in there, if you have not filled it with straw essentially, then there's nothing for your worker to give to your animals. Same with food, same with water, etc. And I thought that might be a nice compromise. Now again, there wouldn't necessarily be an animation, and I think Cattle and Crops is a pretty ambitious project, and I think, carefully, I think the goal of Cattle and Crops is that you would have a very lively map. You would have a lot of things happening and moving around on a map, and I love the idea of that. Even right now, looking over our shoulder here to check on the 7, to see it back there working away, it's sort of that model railroad aspect where you have a lot of things happening at once. Well, in this case, we've got one thing happening other than what it is that we're doing. There's one other thing happening on the map. But you know, when you get course play going and you've got, you know, combine harvesters going in your arable fields, and you've got tippers running back and forth servicing your combine harvesters and then going to either to the grain cell or to the silo. I've seen it. I've made it work a couple of times with course play. But the idea that you would have a very lifelike map with a lot of different workers doing a lot of different things at the same time, I would really love to see that happen. And Cattle and Crops, you know, if they can pull it off, more power to them. I don't want Cattle and Crops to fail. It's not like that. I think, well, who knows how that's all going to work out. I want everybody to succeed. Even people that I don't like. I want everybody to succeed. I want everybody to be happy. So if Cattle and Crops works out, great. But I think maybe they had a little bit more ambition than they had organization. Could be. That's just based on what I know about how things are going there. But if they could pull it off, if they could make that very lifelike map with all those things happening, I think that would be fantastic. I love it. Right, we're getting back here to our starting point, and I haven't done a count, but I suspect, because we've got room for about, 15 more bales. You want to do one more headland? If we do one more headland, I think that will be enough to fill this second trailer. On the right there is our transporter. It's going to be a little dicey getting that to the barn, but I ain't scared. I'm kidding. I'm actually a little nervous about trying this on camera, but you know what? If it doesn't work, you just delete it and pretend it never happened. Reset the farm, put everything back where it was. Oh, don't hit the post. Put everything back where it was, and just come in with a new episode and say, hey, I harvested grass and made several €100,000, but I did it off camera for some reason. Well, the some reason is I screwed up the video and didn't want to use it. That's what happened. That's what happened. It's interesting as a viewer of farm videos. It's interesting to see that happen periodically in somebody's series. You know, they'll just be like kind of a jump ahead in time, and they don't really address it. But I wonder sometimes if they didn't have a bit of a, you know what I'm saying? Oh, don't hit the post. Oh, you know what? We're going right through those posts. Looks like there's no collisions on the end of these mowers. You think we got 15 out of there? I'm counting from here. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we got 15. So we're going to raise these mowers while we're waiting for our baler to make it back here. All right, like so. Like so. This thing's been working hard, so we're going to let it run. So, set the brake. Here's our baler finishing up. We'll probably get 2 or 3 more bales out of it before it's even done. Okay. I think we'll fill that trailer. Will we? There's 14 on there now. It holds 32. So that's what? 18, not 15. Well, close enough. Alright. This is a great little mod. This just released a couple of weeks ago. Although it does look a little do you think of that angle? I don't know. It looks a little low in the front. I guess it's not. I guess it's not. Right. So come over here. Hop in this fella. Right there. We're wrapping one more. Take it off of follow me. All right. It unloads. Beautiful. Raise the pickup. Turn it off. Pull it forward just a bit. Set the brake. Yeah. A lot of these bales came down to the low side of the field. Fortunately, we are using auto load. I don't know how you feel about auto load. I'm okay with it. I know it's not the most realistic, but the idea of picking up all these bales one at a time, I think for some sim farmers, they really, really like that. They really like the idea of not just doing it, right? Like it's fun to do, but they also like the idea that they did it, right? It's an accomplishment. Right. This thing is a bit of a handful, as you may suspect, right? Flasher's off. Oh, all right. So if we go up and over and in, we can start picking up some bales. And I do have to be zoomed out because we loaded our front trailer first, and obviously we're going to load our rear trailer second, and I can't really see it. Oh dear. This is going to be... Getting it up to the barn is going to be very exciting. Right, so let's just hop on this headland and run around the outside of the field here. Grab the rest of these bales. Although a lot of them, yeah, a lot of them rolled down to the other side. I'll take a look off camera and see how many rolled into the trees. Hopefully not many. And I'll also, this field and the other field, there is, that happens with follow me. The radius, the turning radius for the two tractors can be slightly different. And you do end up with a little, carefully, with a little grass left on the field. And I'm trying, this is very heavy. I'm trying not to turn too drastically because we will roll. But also trying not to drive on our uncut grass. Right. Clipping through the trees. Right down here. Oh yeah. So many bales. Now we may not, where are we at on time? 18 minutes. We got 12 minutes to get this thing loaded and get up to the store. I'll tell you what, even if we're not fully loaded, even if we're 1 or 2 bales light, I'm going to take us up to the barn because I'd like to sell these this episode. Carefully. Carefully. Right there you go. I would like to sell these this episode. And if we're messing about down here for too long, we won't be able to get up there in time. There. We got room for 13 more. You think we got 13 more between here and where we started? Maybe. Maybe, because they did roll down from the top of the field. One more there. Beautiful. Yeah, I'm okay with auto load. One more there. And it's not just because I'm not so good with a front loader, but like the Animal Helper mod, I know for some people, you know, doing every aspect of a farm activity that you would do in real life, doing all of those things in their sim farm, they really like that, and that's totally cool. I absolutely, you know, you do you. Whatever works best for you, you do that. But, you know, I've been speeding up time to bring the episodes forward. And when you do that, you have to take care of your animals. It seems like sometimes that's all you do. It's just take care of your animals, speed through a day, take care of your animals again, speed through a day. And it, for me, it does get a little bit tedious. And if I was not speeding through the day, Maybe not. You know, maybe it wouldn't be such a big deal, but I am. So it's something I got to try to find a fix for. And that animal helper mod seems like the fix that I was looking for. 28. We're going to be close here. $29. Get it? 30. Oh, you're kidding. I don't know. It takes more than. I thought 32 for some reason. Okay, my math was off. How are we doing on time? And how many bales light are we? Looks like 3. What do you say? You just want to roll it with what we got? Yeah, that's a lot of bales. That's a lot of bales. So now we got to do this, and I will have to turn on my menu to do this. So we're gonna go. Right, and then we're gonna unload bales here, and then quickly put the straps on. Okay, that worked out. All right, I'm nervous. Knees weak. Mom's spaghetti. Here we go. See how this goes. Even just getting out of this field is going to take... Well, I mean, we could drive on the uncut grass, and that would make things easier, but trying to stay on the headland, even just getting out of this field is going to be a little tricky. Here we go. Yeah, there's sort of 2 entrances to these fields, and there's one on the left and one on the right of that little gap between the 2. I'm going to swing out here and use this second one. And we may drive over the bushes just a little bit. Oh, don't flip. Don't flip. All right. Beautiful. All right. Right through there. And like I said, I'm zoomed out to keep an eye on this rear trailer. But we can, this is pretty straight here, so let's zoom in a bit. There we go. There we go. So, right, I don't know how many bales we'll get from the rest of that field, but I think we're going to make, it's not quite a fortune, and we owe a ton of money, but we're going to make a lot of money from this grass. And then you can see on the right, I did plant canola because we have the 200,000 liters of soybeans in the silo. I planted canola, reason being it doubles our odds of getting great demand. And canola and soybean have similar price. They're always at least like €1,000 per ton, and the most they go up to is about 2,000. So I figured that would, right, rather than putting another 200,000 liters of soybeans in there, let's put something in that has a similar value and sort of hedge a little bit against market prices as you do. So I think we'll be out of debt. Oh, maybe 1 or 2 more episodes. Now that's the next question. I had a lot of fun on Holzer map building that meadow, right? We built that meadow into really kind of a small energy company, a small power company for the valley. We could do the same thing here. And I think that's fun. To me, it's more fun than forestry, although just about everything is more fun than forestry for me. I really don't care for it. But we've got our animal operation going. We've got the animal helper now, right? So they're sort of taking care of business, TCBing. And we've got a good steady flow going with grass. And now our arable fields, I keep adding arable fields across the highway. So those are going to be making us 200 to say 400,000 per harvest. So I think we're going to be out of money trouble pretty soon. And I'm just wondering what we do next. Because we could do 13 or 14 episodes of this map as we did with Holzer and then move on to another map. Or we can stay on this map and continue kind of building it and just exploring and doing things. Because really, we haven't done a lot on this map. We've spent most of our time down at this southern farm. And then we have the sheep farm going up north. but we really haven't done a whole lot on any other part of the map. So we've got options. We've certainly got some possibilities. All right, this is our first test. We are going to drive through the bushes. I just don't want to drive through the tree. All right. First test. Passed. Flying colors. No problem. Zoom back in here. Although it is going to start to get a little... We're going to have to be a little bit more careful through here because we've got some S-bends. And it is a dolly trailer. It does track, but it also curves in just a little bit. So we need to be sort of mindful of that as we get closer and closer to the store. 26 minutes. Oh my goodness. This is going to be right down to the wire. Through here. Now there's also a feature. We're going to pass it up here on the left. There's a feature on this map I'm really curious about, and I haven't had a chance to test it yet because we haven't had any slurry, but we do have slurry now. So let me point this thing out to you as we pass it. Oh, we are pedal to the metal, by the way. We are... It won't go no faster. So right over here on the left, you're going to see a slurry pond. And I don't know if that is just a scenery feature or if that thing actually works. Yeah, this is where we need to start swinging wide a little bit, putting some wheels in the dirt. I don't know if that can be filled and used as a reservoir for slurry or digestate, or if it's just a scenery feature. But we've got plenty of slurry now from our cattle operation, so we can certainly test that. And what I'll need to do is load up a tank and bring it up. I did try to fill from it. I thought maybe it was a purchase point, even though there's no icon, and it is not. There's no way to fill any tank with either slurry or digestate from that lagoon. But I'm curious if once you fill it, right, if once you put something in it, then you can fill from it. So in other words, we would transport slurry from our farm down to that lagoon and then fill our sprayer from it carefully. Fill our sprayer as we're fertilizing fields in the vicinity. And man, we are really running out of torque up this hill. Come on, buddy. Come on. You got this. I think we do. I think we do got it. Okay. So we got one more tricky bend and then a narrow bit. I got to swing out into the bushes here. I know. But we need to clear this fence on the right. And I think we will. Oh, fantastic. Carefully. Carefully. Oh, we're so close. This is one I hate screwing up this close to the end of an episode because a lot of times I'll bin it and it's been a waste of a good episode. All right, and now we got to go right through here. Very narrow. Through this little stone wall. And then we have to somehow make a 90-degree left turn into the barn. But I think we're going to be okay there too. I think. And then I got to flip this thing 180 degrees, get it out of the parking lot, and back to the farm to pick up another load, probably of just as many bales as we have on here now, if not two. So, swing out a little bit far so we don't clip too bad, and cut it hard. Driveway, and I believe this is the barn right here, directly in front of us. If you go around the back of it, that's the animal purchase point, but I believe right across the front here is where you sell your bales. We're about to find out. Oh, it most definitely is. Fantastic. You switch here and drop these. Oh, I love it. I love it. What did we have when we came in here? About 15 grand, I want to say. So that's... Oh, yeah. And we'll drop those. How'd we do? About 100,000 euro for those two trailers. And just while we're still recording, let me see if I can flip the U-turn here. Oh, fantastic. Everything worked out this episode. It's a Christmas miracle. Right. Stop it right there. Beautiful. Set the brake. Hop out. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out the Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Farming Simulator 19. This is the Geiselsberg map. We'll see you next time. Take care now.